Hi guys, it's Nancy here and I'm back with another process video, and this time I'm going to be scrap lifting this layout that I made earlier. I shared this probably about last week, and I decided to use a circular die and make my own polka dot background using some of my 6x6 paper pads. You'll know that I'm trying to make a conscious effort on using my paper pads up, so I've taken just a cream piece of cardstock and I'm just going through my 6x6 paper pads here. This one is crepe paper, and then I think I've got a Project Life one. Anyway, I was just kind of thinking, so I cut that out so you didn't have to see it, but these are scallop circles, and I kind of based my placement on that other layout. I mounted the whole thing up on a yellow piece of paper, which is from Amy Tangerine, I believe. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to build up a photo cluster. This is a picture of my boyfriend's son's partner taking a picture of them two, and me taking a picture. This is about taking pictures. So I'm just going to flick through some more paper pads. I said I used all 6x6 paper pads on here, apart from that, the cardstock and the bit that I mounted it in. I did gut that out though because I wanted to mount my photo in it as well. So I'm going to use some bits from the Journey collection as well, from Crepe Paper. And just take a selection of bits, but the little cut apart pieces I do really like. At the size. Of course I do have these papers in the larger sizes as well. So I'm just working away here, trying to figure out where my cluster is going to go, and this exact bit was the same cut apart, a piece that I cut apart previously. So I'm just basing it very much off my first layout that I shared, the same sort of clustering. I used the front on there as well, so I'm just gonna be looking here at some other bits that I can use. So I find this little US map, and then I'm going to use some of these little word strips as well, and the arrows. I did use arrows on the other layout as well. So basically this is just scrap lifting a layout that I really like, that I made. I think I made about 3 or 4 days before I made this one. But I really liked it, so like, why not? Why not scrap lift it? So I did pull out some more of those frames. These ones are more neutral. And every time I use frames, I think I need to get more frames. But I'm resisting buying more frames. So, just going through my paper pads here, trying to find something to mount that frame on, because I don't want everything showing through. And actually, even though the collections in the background are different, I think they kind of work together quite well. So I'm going to be pulling out a flare. I'm just looking for my flare tin here because I used a flare on my other layout. And I do have a lot of flare, and I kind of neglected them for a while, but I am back to using them again. And so really I'm kind of like got my basis done, so I do what I always do, put it all off and start sticking it down. And said this is something you'll have seen me do numerous times. And I very much said worked my placement of those circles around where I knew I was going to put that picture, so there wasn't too much wastage. Just playing about with that cluster, making sure everything overlaps nicely. And these are slightly different colour tones for me, to be honest. I really like them. And my American album is going to be a whole mixture of random. To be honest, I'm quite happy with that. I like how my 2012 album looked when it was a whole mixture. So I'm just going to go with it because it is what it is. So I'm just building up these layers, and so some of these are just offcuts that I just kept in these 6x6 paper pads for quite a while. So as I said, this is just a photo from early on in our trip. It's where we stopped near Alpine Lake when we done our little detour, and I really like the photo. So just taking some of my die cuts and bits and pieces and overlapping them over the photo, and just looking through my wood veneers, just trying to find a piece to work with what we've got here. And I do love wood veneers. You can't beat a good wood veneer. This one I think is a very old Scraptastic one. I used to love the Scraptastic veneers when I first subscribed to them. Oh, I don't even know what Scraptastic kits look like now, to be honest, because I completely stepped away from kit clubs. But yeah, I used to love their wood veneers. I pulled out these recollection enamel stickers, epoxy stickers maybe, and someone sent these to me, and I can't for the life of me remember who, but they are so cool. And they are see-through, but I didn't want them see-through, so I just stuck it on some grid paper, and I'm going to cut that out to put a little camera down there in that bottom cluster. And because they are epoxy, they've got a nice little bit of texture to them. I find another one on the sheet that says smile, so again I'm going to put it on the same pale grid paper and just cut around that. I'm going to put a really simple title on here, which is capture, because this really is just about capturing the photos of the trip and how there was 3 of us taking pictures. So these are October afternoon, and I've used them in a couple of layouts recently just because they've been laying on my desk. That's often how it happens with figures. They'll be laying on my desk and I'll use them, and then another ones will lay on my desk and I'll use them. It's just how it happens. I have put a little bit of wet glue behind there because they're not brilliantly sticky. So I'm just going around this little epoxy, and then I can stick that down using my wet glue. And as I said, this was quite quick. This took me, if you take out all the die cutting, which was quite quick, it took me about 40 minutes, including the die. So it's not bad, about half an hour for the layout probably. Wasn't exactly rushing. And I knew where everything was going to be placed due to the first layout. Sorry guys, just had to have a yawn there. So I've just cut around that camera. I'm going to put a little bit of 3D foam on here because it's going to be on over that frame. So I'm just going to pop it up on a little couple of pop dots, just to help, make sure it doesn't kind of sag in the page protector. So I'm just using wet glue to stick that wood veneer down, and then just going to build up that bottom cluster. As I said, I really like how it looks. Oh, and I forgot I moved that whole thing and ripped it, but it's alright because I just covered it over with the camera anyway. I realised where I was going to have the camera, I was going to be covering the photo up, and that person taking the picture. So, moved everything down. So I'm just then going to be sticking my last little bits and pieces on, sticking my flare on, using a bit of 3D foam. And then I think that's it. I don't think I had anything else. I did add some ink splatters to the background before I started doing all my layering. But yes, I really do like this layout, and I think the background paper and the patterns work really well and kind of look like almost like a printed piece of paper. But I really want to do another one of these layouts, but I don't want to get too repetitive on my channel. So I've done another one, but I've not shared it because I thought you might all get a bit bored of that really. So I've just put my little SFO hashtag down there. And then that's it really. I'm going to call it done. So I'm just going to end up mounting it up on that yellow piece of paper, and that is it. So thank you very much guys for watching my video, and I promise I'll be back with some more very, very soon. Bye!